Peace, beautiful people. Wherever you are in the world right now, I hope you're doing well. I hope you have some way and to find the bright side of your situation. Um, Today, I decided let me just record just a tad so I can get in this mode because believe it or not, I have not been reading consistently for like the past week or two. Reason being, and see, look, we can push blame on a lot of different things, but recently I got Spotify, and with Spotify, I realized that oh my gosh, this audio, like they have so many books on Spotify, the audiobook version, or not the audiobook version, but just like their platform. And so I've been really enjoying the immersive readings that I have been doing. So some of the books that I have, I will just listen to as I read physically. And I don't know um, why there's a limit on Spotify. They probably know that that's where all the girlies want to go because it just makes more sense. $12 a month, and you get countless access to countless audiobooks, but you only get 15 hours a month. The ghetto. Girl, I be reading. I be sitting here immersed. 15 hours is essentially that you can do 30 minutes a day for a month, and there you have it. But you get in a good book, you want to stay in that book for a bit, and that's typically what I'll do. Or I might turn on the audiobook while I'm cleaning or while I'm working, just depending on what type of vibe that I'm on. So yeah, I haven't had my audiobook immersion fix, and I think that that's kind of just put me in like this drab of like not really wanting to pick up the books that I have. And mind you, I have so many books that I'm consistently picking up, putting down, picking up, putting down. And today I have felt like I've been called to get back into the nutrition of it all. And one of the things that I have also noticed my interest and my awareness moving towards and trying to kind of figure out and navigate is how to show up as this person that I know I am, like, and continue on the journey of learning where I don't feel like I have to learn all of the health things through formal education, we should say. Reading is a form of formal education in a way, but when it's self-directed, it's it's a little different. And so, developing a curriculum for consistently learning about plants, their ways of functioning, and their ways of impacting our body is something I've always been super, like, I'm not gonna say always, but as of late I've been super interested in. And yeah, and I think a good standpoint to understand that and refresh my mind, because there's like so much to learn about the physical body and about the processes that our body goes through, the systems that are wrapped up in our body, and how those systems function. And understanding, keeping that at the forefront of my mind is really helpful for me to connect all the dots, because the yoga, the what I put in my body, what I am creating, the foods that I'm creating, all of those things I'm doing, whether I know it or not, very intentionally, from either a psycho standpoint of like, this is my subconscious speaking and this is what I'm craving or desiring. But also there are times when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't feel that good, or I'm noticing a pain or inflammation, stuff like that. And being able to understand the functions of the body, even down to all how the things that we consume affect us, is going to be a way for me to help heal myself. And you never know, hopefully in the future be able to help others as well. um yeah, I love the body. I love being able to help people be able to live better in their bodies. But I also know that I don't know everything. And so it's a daily effort. And to learn, to expand my knowledge, and to refresh my mind and open my mind up to all of the new things that I don't know at this moment, but will soon in the future. So yes, so today I am getting back into this book. The last time I picked this book up, it's one of those books where I'll just like dabble around in, but the vitamins section is a good section to read into today. But also phytochemicals. Oddly enough, I just read about phytochemicals and learned about them not too long ago when I was learning about more about yarrow and how certain phytochemicals, every plant has phytochemicals, and depending on which ones are most present in that plant will give you information on how these plants help with or interact with the body. So let's read this together. Phytochemicals. For many years, researchers have recognized that diets high in fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes appear to reduce the number of diseases including cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure when compared with diets high in meat. It was discovered that the disease-preventing effects of these foods are partially due to antioxidants, specific vitamins, minerals, and enzymes that help prevent cancer and other disorders by protecting cells against damage from oxidation. Now, researchers have discovered that fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes contain yet another group of health-promoting nutrients called phytochemicals. These substances appear to be powerful ammunition in the war against cancer and other disorders. Phytochemicals are the biological active substances in plants that are responsible for giving them color, flavor, and natural disease resistance. To understand how phytochemicals protect the body against cancer, it's necessary to understand that cancer formation is a multi-step process. Phytochemicals seem to fight cancer by blocking one or more of the steps that lead to cancer. For instance, cancer can begin in a carcinogenic molecule. Begin when a carcinogen molecule from the food you eat or the air you breathe invades a cell. But if sulfurin, a phytochemical found in broccoli, also reaches the cell, it activates a group of enzymes that whisk the carcinogen out of the cell before it can cause any harm. Other phytochemicals are known to prevent cancer in other ways. Flavonoids, found in citrus fruits and berries, keep cancer-causing hormones from latching onto cells in the first place. Also, consuming flavonoid-rich diet over a lifetime has shown to reduce the chances of developing dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. Ginseng, found in soybean, kills tumors by preventing the formation of capillaries needed to nourish them. Indoles, found in cruciferous, I can never say that. Cruciferous, I think that's how I say it. Vegetables such as Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and cabbage increase immune activity and make it easier for the body to excrete toxins. And saponins, found in kidney beans, chickpeas, soybeans, and lentils, may prevent cancer cells from multiplying. C-cucuric acid or p-cumaric acid and chlorogenic acid found in tomatoes interfere with certain chemical unions that create carcinogens. The list of these protective substances goes on and on. Tomatoes alone are believed to contain an estimated 10,000 different phytochemicals. Carotenoids, like those found in tomatoes, are shown to reduce age-related cognitive decline. Although no long-term human studies have shown that specific phytochemicals stop cancer, research on phytochemicals support that more than 200 studies that link lowered cancer risks with a diet rich in grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. Moreover, animals and in vitro studies have demonstrated how phytochemicals prevent carcinogens from promoting the growth of specific cancers. For instance, the phytochemical phenethyl isothiocyanate, otherwise known as PEITC, found in cabbage, turnips, has been shown to inhibit the growth of lung cancer in rats and mice. Among other things, PEITC protects the cell's DNA from potent carcinogens found in tobacco smoke. Researchers have been able to isolate some phytochemicals, and a number of companies are now selling concentrates that contain phytochemicals contained from vegetables such as broccoli. These may be used as supplemental sources of some of these nutrients. However, such pills should not be seen as a replacement for the whole fresh food, because several thousand phytochemicals are currently known to exist, and because new ones are being discovered all the time. No supplement can possibly contain all the cancer fighters found in a shopping basket full of fruit and vegetables. Say that again. No supplement can possibly contain all the cancer fighters found in a shopping basket full of fruits and vegetables. Fortunately, it's easy to get a healthy dose of phytochemicals at every meal. Almost every grain, legume, fruit, and vegetable tested has been found to contain these substances. Moreover, unlike many vitamins, these substances do not appear to be destroyed by cooking or other processes. Genistein, the substance found in soybeans, for instance, is also found in soybean products such as tofu and miso soup. Similarly, the phytochemicals PEITC found in cabbage remain intact even when the cabbage is made in coleslaw or sauerkraut. The flavonoids content of food has recently become available. Of course, by eating much of your produce raw or lightly cooked, you'll be able to enjoy the benefits not just of phytochemicals, but of all the vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that our fresh foods have to offer. All right, so lots going on in this. There's so many different phytochemicals, and it's like, dang, every day you need to learn about a new one because they got so many and they do so much. That in itself is kind of magnificent. Okay, God, when I tell you God created everything on this earth to heal us, God created it. Not man, but God himself. And himself is even then, like, because I hate gendering God. God is God, you know? But in the language that we use, And in the realm of which the masses understand this divine presence, it's usually the masculine, even though it's so much richer than female male when we're thinking about God and we're thinking about the divine, the reason in which we are all here today, and the trickle down effect of it all. Like it's not a man woman type thing, you know. So I always have to clarify that. I'm going back now to highlight a few things that stuck out to me while reading this. Phytochemicals are the biologically active substances in plants that are responsible for giving them color, flavor, and natural disease resistance. So they built up their own immune system by creating these chemicals, and these chemicals help them fight off the things that cause harm in the environment. Very similar to what our immune system does for us. And our immune system it functions a few different ways, but the main way is through the lymph system. Our lymph system helps us maintain our health. And so that's where it gets me thinking. Okay, also. And I also like phytochemicals seem to fight cancer by blocking one or more of the steps that lead to cancer. That's an important thing to recognize because it's a interconnected system with this the foods that we eat, and we are not very privy to how we consume the nutrients and how the nutrients is actually working on a chemical level in our body. So like for instance, the sulfurin, if I'm saying that correctly, which is found in broccoli, reaches the cell, activates a group of enzymes which whisk the carcinogen out of the cell before it can cause any harm. That is sulforaphane. I done said that about 3 different ways, 3 different times. Child, listen. And the thing is, I'll look at a word and I just say it. And that's the problem. You got to sound that shit out, okay? Learn from me. Not by me, but learn from me when I say. Sound these things out, okay? Take your time with the words. Take your time with your mind, with your brain. I think that's also another thing because, like, I'll be trying to read so fast. Like, I remember being in school and reading was never really one of my strong suits. It was always one of those things where I was just like, I'd rather not do it in front of the class because if I'm not reading perfect, then I feel stupid. That's how I felt. And it's like, no, actually, it's one thing, you can read well, but can you comprehend? Can you comprehend? Do you understand what it is that these things are saying? Are you rationalizing this in your own mind? That's one thing. And then 2, also, like, give yourself some grace. Society makes us feel so wild sometimes and so, like, unworthy at times. And that in itself is wild. It's so wild. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. And I already know, I don't know if, because I've never been tested or anything like that, but I will throw an extra word in there real quick too, because like I'll read and then maybe sometimes I'm reading a little bit ahead of what I'm speaking. And so then it's like, ooh, let me just speak what I'm reading. And then that throws things off too. So that can be, I don't know how that looks, but like when I'm looking at things, it's not as though I'm seeing extra words appear, or them being jumbled up. But it's more so like my brain is thinking faster than the words that are coming out of my mouth. And because of that, sometimes some words get included or removed, or like I said, I'll say what I think the word is just based off of a quick glance, but it's not really taking the time to be like sulforaphanin. And that might not be how you pronounce it, but that's what it would sound like if I were to sound it out and take my time with it. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through the photochemicals that they did point out. I'm gonna highlight those, and like the flavonoids, which are found in citrus. They help keep cancer causing hormones from latching onto the cell in the first place. So that's good. That's good. And then, like, knowing these things, knowing how certain photochemicals work within the body, how can you then begin to intentionally eat and intentionally craft your diet in order to prevent certain things from progressing, or from like you're not giving more fuel to the fire, you know? And I think that's the biggest thing that learning about these things help you with. I'm going to leave it there so I can get back into the book. I want to thank y'all for taking the time to listen to me yap, okay? Listen to me yap about this stuff is crazy. It's pretty cool. I want to hear your comments. What do you know about photochemicals? Down in the description below. I would love to hear it. And we can get more into, the science behind plants and the science behind the body. And this is from a layman's terms. We can get more into depth as we grow, but just know that wherever you are within your learning journey, it is honored here. And I'm happy to bring you along with me and learn from you as well. So thank you all for watching, and until next time, peace and love.